Hello and welcome to A Book in 5 Minutes with me, Lindsay Milner. This week I am looking at a book called Tiny Experiments. It's written by Anne-Laure Le Cunff and it's subtitled How to Live Freely in a Goal-Obsessed World. So, to be honest, it was the subtitle more than anything that kind of drew me in, that appealed to me the most. Because I've often struggled with goal setting unless it's like a really big picture wide goal. I don't get on very well with the whole breaking it down into small pieces and working towards it and really see it in detail. I don't enjoy that. And I think as well, what she says is that the linear approach that a lot of people take towards career goals, I certainly feel that it doesn't fit very well with people who've got ADHD perhaps, people who are generalists, people who don't really want to specialise and spend the 10,000 hours learning one particular thing. So that subtitle appealed to me. But I also liked the idea of what she calls a tiny experiment. She just try something out. And a couple of things in my life have kind of led me to thinking that was a good approach anyway. So all that being said, the book was a kind of obvious one for me to try out. In terms of the book, she has divided it into 4 main sections. The first part is called Pact, and this is about making a pact with yourself, creating that accountability for how you're going to go about just trying a tiny experiment. Some of it does talk about, maybe write a blog article every day for 100 days or something, and I'm kind of thinking, that doesn't sound like a tiny experiment, that sounds like quite a big experiment. But that said, I think the approach is possibly a really useful one. The second section is called Act, and that's about mindful productivity, about self-discovery, about discovering what's going to work for you, whether you enjoy something, all of those kind of things. The third section is called React, and that's about collaborating and embracing the uncertainty of, when you try something out, is it going to work? Embrace that uncertainty. And the fourth section is called Impact, which is all about how we learn in public, and she talks as well about focusing on generativity, which I will come to shortly. Just a very slight negative for this volume. I thought those titles, the Pact, Act, etc., were a little bit forced, and I didn't really feel like everything that was under those headings really led to the thing that she said it did. But it is very slight negative. It's just about the labelling. I think the actual content of the book, there is so much in there that's really valuable. And what I liked the playful approach that she takes to just try something out, see how it goes. Did you have fun? If you did, do more of that. If you didn't, well, then you know that that's not the path for you. There are some great tools in there that I probably will use. The Pact, the accountability one of, committing to, I am going to try this course of action for this amount of time. I think that's a great idea, and I will definitely take that on board. There's another tool that she uses, which she calls plus minus next, and it's kind of like, a daily review or a weekly review, or however long you think is the appropriate period to review. Plus, make a note of what went well, minus what didn't work so well, what can you learn from that, and next is obviously, well, what are you going to do next? So it's just a really simple overview of what went well and what didn't go well, and how you're going to deal with that. The other thing that I particularly liked was she has a section on generativity, and this is under the sort of impact, the public learning, that later section. And she contrasts this with, do we leave a legacy? Why are we all working to leave a legacy? Generativity, it's a psychology term which does mean about how are we helping the next generation to succeed or to be happy, to live a good life. And she says that we should take the approach that what we're doing is contributing towards generativity rather than worrying about our legacy. So whether that's how we're helping our families, how we're helping our work colleagues, or wider society, it all counts as generativity. And I really liked that aspect of this book. I think the book does take a novel approach, whether that's to your career progression or to entrepreneurship or to life generally, and I really did like the approach that she's taking. So I would recommend this book absolutely to anybody who feels like they're a generalist and not a specialist and wants to try out different things. I think it is probably quite suited to neurodivergent people. I think it's great for anybody who struggles with accountability to help you to develop that improved self-accountability. And I think it would also be good for anybody who's struggling to know what to do next with their life, if you're at a crossroads in some way. It was an easy read, it was an enjoyable read, and then it does have a lot of really useful resources towards the back of the book. And I think there are definitely some things in here that I could implement and follow and make use of for myself going forwards. So that is Tiny Experiments. It's written by Anne-Laure Le Cunff and subtitled How to Live Freely in a Goal-Obsessed World. I'm Lindsay Milner. That's this week's book in 5 minutes, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe if you want more content like this. Bye.